This will be our first live discussion, a live LDR discussion about age gaps. In the LDR community, first of all, let me just say hi, my name is Cami. I am an intercultural wife. My husband is in Nigeria, and I live in the United States in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm not new to YouTube, but I'm revamping this page, and I want to just allow others, share my journey with others that are in the same types of marriages and in relationships. So today I want to discuss age gap love. And if you don't know what the term LDR means, it means long distance relationships. Today, I would like to discuss age gap loves because I am in a marriage where I am older than my husband, and there is a huge, not a huge gap, but there is an age gap between us. For me personally, I never wanted to, never even thought about marrying somebody or even talking to somebody that's younger than me. It wasn't on my mind. I wasn't attracted to younger men. Um, it just wasn't a thing for me because I've always dated. I was married to someone that was 5 years older than me, and I've always dated men that were older than me. I've always been attracted to older men because I felt like it was a sense of security for me. Hello, everybody that's coming in. Please come in, tap, like, and share the live, please. But today I just want to discuss with you all what it feels like. Hello, Shoops. Let me just welcome everybody in before I get into this live. Charms Travel Station. Hi, how are you? Thank you. Hey, Elise, how are you? Um, but today I want to discuss age gap loves. Um, because so many of us are in these types of marriages and relationships now, and I don't think we get a chance to openly discuss exactly what it is and how we got ourselves in these types of marriages and relationships. So let's discuss it, and I'll start off with myself. I was newly divorced. I was married for 23 years to a Caucasian man, and we grew apart. We're actually friends, still friends to this day, but we just grew apart. And I was the one that initiated the divorce. He would have never divorced me. He would have never divorced me because um, I believe that we had just grown used to each other. When you've been with somebody for that long, that you just grow used to each other. So I was the one that, initiated the divorce. I felt like I had something was going on. My children had, all grown up. I was done raising a huge family. My parents had passed away, and I wasn't really looking for anything, but I knew I didn't want to stay in a marriage. I didn't want to stay in a marriage. So I was just doing me. But me and my husband met. I'm going to give you that video for another day, another time. But we met on Facebook. And hello, that's everybody. Everybody that's coming in. Hello, hello, hello. This is a discussion that we haven't been able to really have on TikTok. So I'm glad to see some of you all from TikTok coming in because we haven't been able to have this openly on TikTok. So welcome in everybody. Dimples, I see you. Jacob Chasten, Henry, hello. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So anyway, I just want to just talk about what made us at our age, what made us say, hey, I might not be as secure as I want to be right now, but I'm going to take a chance. Or he might not be the age that I'm used to dating, but I'm willing to take a chance. For me, it was the feeling of, hey, I've never loved a man like this, and I want to give it a try. And I'm at the point of my life, I want to be happy, and it doesn't matter what other people say about it. Now, let's just talk about the stereotypes of this. Most people, they don't believe in it at all. But when you think about it, and it's a lot of reasons that they don't believe in it. Some just don't believe that these types of marriages will work. Others think that these men are doing it for scams. Some think that the women are truly desperate, and some think that it's for green card purposes, and to change their situation. Well, whatever the reason is that people are in these types of marriages, um, you have to know this, that everybody has a chance. Everybody um, has the opportunity to marry and date who they want to date. It doesn't have anything to do with you, doesn't have anything to do with your preferences or what you believe. Because I believe that if the noise is so loud about older women dating younger men, then it should be equally as loud as older men dating younger women. Because this has been going on for centuries and no one is making any fuss about it, especially in some countries that see it as normal. Now, you can't really compare us to some of the men that do this, because some of the men that do this, they're dating children. I don't know, and I don't know a woman, at least in this community, that is dating a child underage. Everybody has the opportunity to date who they want to date. Okay. I see I'm gonna have to block some people. I'm gonna get some mods here soon, y'all. I'm gonna get some mods. Because I'm just coming back on here, but I'm gonna get some mods here soon, because I see that this is everywhere you go, not just TikTok. We have people that just don't have anything better to do. So anyway, let me get back on track. Um, we have a lot of people. We have a lot of people that are in these types of marriages now. A lot of women, and you see, well, from what I can see, you see a lot of them are from America, but they're from everywhere, not just America. Um, in the community that I just left, you see a lot of them in that community that are older women, and they're dating younger men. There's usually a age gap, either whether it's small or it's large. My take on it is this: um, you have to be careful. You have to be careful. I was really skeptical about marrying my husband. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So I was really skeptical about marrying my husband until I got some things straight. Because one thing that you all probably did not know, I dated someone before him. And that person taught me a lot about the Igbo culture. So as I was, when that relationship ended, I was really really knowledgeable about what Igbo men, the culture, was about, and what they could accept, and what they would not accept, what the family would accept and what they would not accept. So I was well versed in that. And when I met my husband, my now husband, I was, adamant. Like, I need to speak to your parents. I need to speak to your parents. I need to meet your family, and I need to, ask your mom some questions. And the questions were surrounding children. What, yeah, what are the what's the cultural belief with the marriage, and these men, your son having children. And me and his mom had a long conversation. We had a long conversation, and I'm just going to say this: after that conversation, his mom let me know some options that would be acceptable for their culture, and I was okay with that. I was okay with that. She explained it very well. Well, she had her daughter explain it very well, because she doesn't speak English that well. But I was okay. I was okay with what we agreed on. If not, then we would not be married to this day. I think that that's one thing that you need to sit down and have a discussion with your partner. You need to have a discussion with, your husband before marriage. Before marriage, just like you're discussing other things that should be discussed, you need to have a discussion with your husband or your partner before you get married. Because if not, then you probably will end up in a marriage that will probably end in tears. And I'm not saying that to try to be funny, because I mean anything can go wrong with a marriage. But when you tie that to cultural beliefs, when you tie that to things that they're not willing to change, connecting to their traditions and things like that nature, then headed for you're headed for, I mean, down a long painful road. I've seen it happen over and over again. And let me say this, I think that any of us could be subject to different things, but um, you just can't ignore the obvious. The red flags are in your face. The red flags that are in your face, you cannot ignore that. You can't just say, "Oh, they're just jealous," and don't let him tell you some of the things. And let me tell y'all this: Shoop said you were very thorough, Cammy, and I didn't ignore the different conversations. Um, Thank you, Shoops. I appreciate that. It's important that we don't ignore it. A lot of us don't like to discuss it, but if you're some of the main things that I see happening to us, and I'm going to say to us, because again, I was in another relationship that did not work out, and I learned from my mistakes. So I'm saying to from us, things that happen to us. We allow these young men to tell us, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't want children." Well, he may not want children, but he may be brought up in a culture that requires him to have children and requires him to produce lineage for the next for his parents. You know, and so it's not always up to him, depending on what his cultural and traditional beliefs are. That's what it's dependent on. You can't just say, "Oh, he said he doesn't want children." That's a lie, especially if he doesn't have any. Especially if he doesn't have any, especially if he is the first son, especially um, if his mother, if he's the only son, that bloodline has to continue. It has to continue. Hey, Miss Shonda, how you doing? I don't know if I spoke to you, Dimples, but the bloodline has to continue. So please don't allow them to tell you, "Oh, my husband doesn't want children. He said that he's fine with it. His parents are deceased. Both parents are deceased, and he's in his young 20s or he's in his young 30s." Don't allow them to just tell you anything. If you're going there, you're getting married, and you haven't met the parents, you haven't had the hard conversations, you haven't had you haven't had the blessing from the father. Something is off, and that's where we have to draw the line. Something is off. I'm telling you. When we ignore stuff like that, you're just putting it on the back burner for it can rise again, because eventually it's going to rise again. And then we're going to be like, "Oh my God, where did this come from? You said that you didn't want kids. Now you're here in America. Now you're saying that you want kids. Now you're saying that you're going to leave me for a woman. Now you're going to bring another wife in." You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. So have the hard conversations now. Have the hard conversations now. And let me say this, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to live in your purpose with your husband. Just because you are an older woman, doesn't mean that you have to hide. I remember when I first went to Nigeria to meet my husband. I remember that. And anybody that knows Nigerian men, they don't like public displays of affection. But I remember having this conversation with my husband right before I got there. I said, "You know what? I know that you all don't like public displays of affection, but I said it comforts me when I'm in public with my husband and and he holds my hand or he puts his hand behind me if I'm sitting beside him. I said, and I was just telling him things that made me feel comfortable, and I said, you don't have to do it. I said, because I know, that you all don't do stuff like that here. I said, but that's just one of the things that makes me feel secure and comfortable when I'm with you. So I didn't expect him to do it. It wasn't required of him or anything. But then when I got there, he was so affectionate. And I was the one that was embarrassed. And I was embarrassed because, first of all, I was thinking about our age gap. And I was thinking about what other people would say about me being older than this guy and having, and being affectionate with him. It wasn't nothing real vulgar outright. It was just him trying to hold my hand and me pulling back, or rubbing on my back and me saying, like, don't do that, Even though I liked it, I was embarrassed because of the age gap. I was worried about what other people were saying. My husband took me through, I mean, I took my husband through a lot, because of the insecurity that I first felt when we were married. Again, this is my first marriage. With the younger guy, I was not really, into dating younger men. So I was like, I made him make up for the insecurities that I felt by proving himself to me. And one of the ways is I was like, you know what? You're with an older woman. Okay. I have wrinkles. I have flabby arms. I have, I have jiggly thighs and things like that, a stomach. I said, are you used to an older woman that's plus size? And he said, babe, he said, Go to my old Facebook. He said, it's inactive. I don't really use it anymore. He said, but you'll see a woman that I used to date on there. And you know me, you know us. Why you still got her picture on there? I was so insecure at the time. You know, I just wanted to know. Can y'all see me? If y'all can see me, give me a thumbs up. I want to know if this is still, because I don't know. I don't know if I lost connection. Can y'all see me? Give me a thumbs up if you can see me. Cause y'all ain't tapping the screen. Y'all know I'm used to TikTok. I'm used to y'all tapping the screen and stuff like that. Okay, Miss Shonda, thank you. I gotta get used to you too, y'all. And I'm going to, cause I ain't going back to TikTok. They can have that over there. It's too much drama. But anyway, I went to his Facebook and he showed me the young lady that he used to date, and she was heavier than me. She was a Nigerian woman, very pretty, my complexion, and she was a little heavier than me. And I said to myself, wow, And then he told me about his babysitter. That's a whole story in itself. He told me about his babysitter. A lot of young men mess around with their babysitter. You know that's how a lot of young men lose their virginities to their babysitter. Believe it. I mean, you ask your husbands and your boyfriends. Do they lose their virginity? Did they lose their virginity to their babysitters? And a lot of them gonna tell you, yes, I did. But anyway, he was telling me that his babysitter, which I think it was a form. And I'm laughing now, but I think that's a form of the M word. So she was too old to be messing with him. She was his babysitter. She was too old to be doing that. But anyway, men are, even at a small age, men are mannish and they love all that kind of stuff. Hey, Lanita. So he was loving. Yes, abuse. It was abuse. It really was. My husband unfortunately didn't look at it that way. He was like, wow, he said he was excited. So anyway, he said that after that he always loved older women. He said he had an attraction for older women after that happened to him. And People will tell you, oh, they don't, their older man don't like, oh, yes, they do. There are some that just prefer older women. And the reason why, the benefits that we have besides other, that younger women don't have, we are settled. Everything is not an argument for us. Everything, we're, a lot of us are more secure in who we are, and we're more confident, and we don't sweat the small stuff. We require more. We do. We expect more, and we require more, and that's attracted to the men that are attracted to us. You know? So you can't tell me, you can't tell me that these men don't want who they want, because even if my husband and I, God forbid, broke up, I don't believe my husband would go back to a younger woman. He said he's dated one or two on his hands, and he said that he can count of. He loves older women, and he also loves plus size women. So it's just, that's just what he likes. So that all, showing him, proving that to me, it built up a confidence in me to let me know, okay, it's okay for me to love him. It's okay for me to love him, no matter what people say. And when honestly, now that I'm with my husband, I feel younger and more alive than I ever have. And it's not just because of sex; it's because of the way that he makes me feel, the possibilities that he shows me, the life that we are planning together. All of that is a combination of how I feel as a older woman dating a younger man. I mean, married to a younger man. So I just want to encourage you ladies today. Don't be ashamed. Be smart. Be wise. Make sure that that's really what they want. Make sure that that's really make sure that that's really how they, make sure that that's really, what they're dating and marrying you for, because of love, because of the attraction, because of the peace of mind. Because a lot of us offer them that no one else can offer them. Y'all gonna have to tap the screen or something to keep me knowing that everything is okay, because this is new to me over on this side. Adrian, but I'm open. There's a 12-year age gap between me and my husband. Yeah, there's a 12-year age gap between us. The one that I was with before, there was a larger age gap. It wasn't 20 years and stuff like I see some some of us are doing. There wasn't 20 years. It was just larger than 12 years. But yeah, with me and my husband, there's a 12-year age gap. I You're lost on what to do on YouTube. We're gonna figure this thing out together, because we're gonna build this page up. We're gonna build this page up. I left almost 80,000 followers down on YouTube, but I believe that God is gonna give me 100,000 or more here. So we're gonna build this page up together, because a lot of stuff I am learning. I posted one video today, and when I tell y'all, it took forever for me to post it, but I learned a lot today. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this, because I'm not the best with technology, but when I learn something and I do it over and over again, then I perfect it well. I perfect it really well. So I'm just believing that, God's gonna, give us over 100,000 subscribers here on this, because we should have been at 100,000 on TikTok, but TikTok is so it's too much. It's exhausting, you guys. And the ones that I have that have followed me over here, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for coming over here. I tried to message as many people as I knew I could message, that I wanted to follow over here, because I didn't want to make an announcement on the page before I shut it down. Oh, I'm leaving TikTok, go to YouTube, because it would have been some some of the same people. I'm just praying that this page, this YouTube will stay positive, It's going to stay positive with me anyway, but I won't have to keep blocking people and all this other stuff. I just don't want the negativity anymore. We have shared, me and my husband have shared so much on social media, and this is going to be where we share his when we close the distance. We're going to share it right here on this page, so you don't want to miss anything. If you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. You don't want to miss that. Our time is coming quicker than you think, so we're gonna you don't want to miss that day. I'll probably be live that day a couple of times. I'll probably be live that day a couple of times. Women my age, 47, are okay, but I am not used to it. I don't get along with millennial women too well, but the younger ones can vibe. Okay, so tell me, so capitalist. You said that you don't get along. Why? Why not? What's the problem with millennial women? I do too, Miss Shonda. I do too. I love to watch the distance being closed. I'm calling our journey bridging the gap, because I'm telling you, it was a huge gap, a big old wide gap with from America to Nigeria, crossing over the Ocean. Honey, it's been something else. It's been something else. But yes, so capitalist. Tell me why. So you're 47 and you just don't like dating millennial women. And that's fine, because everybody, like I was just saying, so capitalist, I'm gonna call you so. It it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. You may just not be attracted to older women. You may not be attracted to older women, and that's fine. I think that you should date the women that you are attracted to. My problem with other people that see that have so much negativity to say about us dating and marrying who we love, is this. No, you don't have to. You don't have to marry us. Marry and date who you feel comfortable with. You don't see them genuine, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't see our marriages as genuine. A lot of people don't. I get it. But if you put everybody in a box, if you put everybody in a box in the same category without knowing without knowing that person individually, not being around that person, seeing what kind of marriage, what kind of foundation their marriage is built on, then it's unfair. And it's it's just not right. It's the same thing that racists do. It's the same thing that people do, that are just being judgmental. You can't say that, and all of them are not genuine. You may think that because you probably never been around or seen a marriage like this last. But I've seen plenty of them. I have friends that are married in age gap marriages. And some of them, one of the ladies that I used to follow on TikTok, her and her husband have a 15-year age gap, and they've been married for 25 years. Look at God, 25 years. And they're happy. They're living in America together, and they make it work. Well, that may or may not be true, all of them. But you know what? Even a marriage that has the same, age range, those they could have bad intents. There's plenty of them that go wrong, that don't have good intentions. There's plenty of the divorce rate. I know the divorce rates are high, and there's scams going on. There's cheating, all kinds of things with the same age gaps. With the same age gaps. I don't know the statistics of it, but I know that it doesn't matter what the age. I mean, the age matters. Let me not say that. The age matters, but I believe that when you say that all of them are All of them don't have the right intentions. I don't believe that. Oh, your father was older than your mom. Okay. How long were they married? Are they still married? My father, you know what? My father was 15 years older than my mom. And you know what? They were married. They were married for 48 years before they both passed away. They had 19 kids. I'm the youngest of 19 kids. So it's something that I've seen too often, and you can't tell me that it can't work. Amanda, see, look at that. 19 years, 18 years with the man her same age. He had a totally different life, you know? And see, that's why I really don't, ladies, please date who you want, but be cautious. And I don't like to, I know a lot of us don't like to talk about these age gap, marriages and stuff like that, because there's so much scamming and stereotyping around our marriages because of people that do stuff like this, you know. But you have to be careful. I'm telling you to be wise. I'm not saying, hey, just go date you 60 in your 60s and you go date a 20-year-old, and you don't answer what their intentions are. You don't look at the red flags. You don't look at nothing. You don't get to know the culture. You don't get to know that person. That's to me, that's foolish. That's foolish. With anybody, I don't care if he's the same age. You need to know what the intentions are. Why are we dating? You need to have all of your questions answered. There shouldn't be any kind of red flags that you haven't questioned. You can't go into these kind of marriages blindly. That's awesome, Amanda. That's awesome. And hopefully you have done your due diligence, to answer the right questions to make sure that, his intentions are pure. You know, you've answered the hard questions. Sometimes it does hurt. It hurt me to sit down and ask my husband, because I was already, to ask my fiance at the time, because I was already in love with him. It hurt me to ask him, well, babe, what's going to happen? What's going to happen when I get older, and you see me changing, you see my features changing, and you meet someone that's younger and more beautiful and stuff like that. I had to ask them the hard questions. You know, what's going to happen when I get tired, or and I can't keep up? What's going to happen then? You have to ask those kind of questions, even though as women we don't want to even think of ourselves in that capacity. Especially with our husband not being able to keep up and stuff like that. We don't even want to think of that. But my husband, he always lets me know. He said, "Baby, you're because you are with me." This is what he tells me: "I'll keep you young. I'll keep you young. I keep you young." You know, he said, and I know that that's reality. That's not reality. He can't stop he can't stop Father Time. But I do feel younger. I do feel more vibrant now that I'm with him. I really do. And I believe certain kinds of relationships and marriages that are stressful can age you prematurely. That's good, Amanda. She said it took her over a year to move past the friendship because she wanted to ask the hard questions. You should. You should always want to ask the hard questions. Don't think of it as, "Oh, I'm just okay with what he tells me," because everybody's intention is not good. Everybody's intention is not good. So we have to do that. We have to do our due diligence. But we also have to know, we also have to know and be confident in the person that we've chosen. We have to be confident. Can't be in these types of. I could never be in this type of marriage at my age, with the age gap that we have, worried about my husband, leaving me for somebody younger. It doesn't cross my mind. It actually does not. And I believe that he has a lot to do with the confidence that I have now. My husband has a lot to do with it. Yes, when you have peace of mind, it makes everything so much better. I know for me, I have peace of mind. I have peace of mind. I'm not worried about my husband talking to nobody. I'm not worried about my husband being leaving me for. I don't worry about those kind of things. I don't worry about those kind of things because the confidence that he has given me, it supersedes anything else that anybody else can say or ask me. Or Cammy, you worried about this? Nope. Nope. I remember I had an event. And one of these messy people on this other app that I was on said, you know what? She just letting somebody dance with her husband, and she's mess, and that she's gonna end up. She better be careful. That lady go take her husband. I was not worried. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. I wasn't worried about it then, and I'm not worried about it now. My husband, our business requires that my husband works with all different types of people, and especially women, American women that go back and forth to see their husband. That's the kind of business we run in Nigeria. So he's going to meet a lot of women and work with a lot of women. So I'm never worried about it. I've never had a bad report. Nobody can never say, "Oh, your husband was trying to talk to me when we were doing business." No, and I'm proud of that. I wear that badge of honor because he's never made me walk in shame. I've been walked in shame by a lot of men, but he's never done that. You said you were with a Nigerian man for 7 years and found out later on he was using me to get here. Painful as it was, I had my guard up. I know that's right. So you have to keep your guard up until they make you feel confident enough to let it down. And even through that, don't ignore signs that you should be paying attention to. Don't ignore signs. Ask the hard questions. I'm going to do a whole video on asking the hard questions and what the hard questions are. Hard questions are the ones that really might hurt your feelings. It might hurt your feelings because you get to you have it might make or break your marriage or your relationship. Those hard questions, depending on what the answer is, might make or break your marriage. It'll help you learn a lot too. It'll help you learn a lot too. My husband says that I am the question queen. He says that I'm the question queen, and I do. I answer a lot of questions. I'm like, well, why is this? Why do y'all do that? Why do you do this? And I know that I got on his nerve, and I still get on his nerve. He get on mine too, but it's okay because I'm gonna keep asking questions until I'm satisfied with the answer, and it has to make sense. How the young people say, make it make sense. Make it make sense, because I'm gonna keep if it doesn't make sense to me, then I ain't going for it, and I'm not. He knows that I'm gonna keep asking him questions because either either he's a good liar or he does not want to answer my questions. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So I'm gonna keep on asking questions, and we have to. Thank you, Charm Travel Station. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Adrian. You got to. You got to. You can't just be like, oh, okay, babe, no problem. No problem. Some of us we go for anything. This lady was telling me one time. She was like, oh, I went and I got a place, and it cost us this amount of money, and then we had to pay this amount of money, and I'm thinking to myself, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous that you paid that amount of money. My husband is a Nigerian. My husband was looking like, what? You paid what for what? Just and she was okay with it. She was okay with it. Did not even question it. When you don't question stuff, it's gonna work. The lies and the betrayal and the scam is gonna get larger and larger and larger when you don't question stuff. Oh, babe, please, I'm sick. I'm sick. I need to go to the doctor. Okay, babe. Well, what can I do? I need to. I don't have money to go to the doctor. Please, I need to go to the doctor. I'm sick. Well, how much is it? Um, it's 95,000 naira. 95,000 naira. When you can go see the doctor for $3. So how is it 95,000 naira? But if you let them, if you let them, you know, do that, they're gonna the next time you're gonna say, I told him it was 95,000. So this time I'm gonna say I need surgery. This time I'm gonna say I need surgery. We're gonna really wake up. So you have to question everything. My sisters, I beg, question everything before the marriage. Then I'm not up here telling you in your marriage what to question, because I don't do that. I'm mostly speaking to the ones that are about to get married. You might be getting engaged. Question everything. If he stopped calling at a certain time and then you can't reach him, at that same time, question why. And it's not always network. It ain't that NEPA doesn't go out at the same time every single night. NEPA goes out randomly, and no one can really tell when it's going to go out. When it goes out, you're going to say, it's just going to be out. But no one has a set schedule for NEPA to be out. His phone is not dead all the time, especially when you sent him a power bank. Why is the phone and the power bank dead? And you can't reach him? Something is wrong. Something is truly wrong. And if we don't question that, then we're going to just let them get away with telling us rubbish. Something is wrong. And I believe that a lot of us get wrapped up and tied up in these relationships. And then they end up leading to marriage, relationship scams. And then they end up leading to marriage scams because we don't answer the right questions. And we are afraid. And then, or they might, when you do ask questions, they get an attitude. And why are you questioning me? You don't understand. I don't want to talk about it. And then they hang up on you until they want something from you the next day. Ladies, please, my sisters, please, ask the hard questions. Another thing that I see in age gap love. Another thing that I see in age gap love is us trying to fit the part. And what I mean by that is when we try to fit the part, a lot of us, and I've seen us over there, and I was guilty of this too. When I first went to Nigeria, again, I went there not confident, didn't know who I was going to meet. And I just felt like, hey, I may be doing something foolish. I really did. But a lot of us try to fit the part. We go there, we dress a certain way to try to look younger, and most of the time it's us in clothes that don't flatter our body, in clothes that show a lot of skin, in clothes that may be embarrassing to him. And we just look like we're trying to fit that part. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Hopefully we're not going around his family and his friends like that, because it's a bad representation of him. And the family will instantly not like you when you do stuff like that. They will see you as what they call a shawu. A shawu. Y'all know what a shawu is. It's a yard tool. So don't embarrass yourself. Dress modest. Try to dress modest. Don't do anything that's going to bring shame to you. Don't do anything that's going to bring shame to him. Try to dress. Yes, you. I know a lot of us still have our nice shapes and stuff like that. I'm working on mine, but a lot of us still look nice and you look younger. But you're going to a country, if you're going to Nigeria or Ghana, you're going to a country that is mostly a Muslim country, considered to be Muslim countries. So what do Muslims do? They wrap up, they cover themselves up. They see the they save themselves for their husbands. They don't show their breasts. They don't show their body and stuff like that. Um, Yes, they love modest looking women. My husband. So when I went there, my husband, he he had a conversation with me, and not that I was really like out of control and just wearing anything, because I don't dress like that in the States. But sometimes I wore something that was more on the sexier side, and it was inappropriate for where we were about to go. So my husband, he would say, "Well, babe, no, just go change into something." He said, "That's too you're showing too much. Go change." And I was embarrassed at first for him to even have to tell me that. So that happened maybe once or twice, and then I always made sure that I was dressed modestly, going out. I didn't, and I sat down and I had a conversation with him. I said, "Babe, I just want to look sexy for you. When we go out." I said, "I know not to wear that kind of clothes over to mama's house or to church and stuff like that." I said, "But I want you to be proud of me." He said, "Babe, I'm proud of you the way you are." He said, "But I also want to keep, I don't want everybody to see what I have." He said, "You're my wife." He said, "So I don't want everybody to see, what I have." And again, that built confidence in me. It made me see, hey, I don't have to fit the part, because he married who he was attracted to. He likes me just the way I am. So I don't have to try to look younger. I don't have to try to dress younger. This man is happy with me, with who I am, with my fat body, with my big arms, with my jiggly thighs. He likes me the way I am. So you have to be confident, ladies, no matter what the circumstance is. So that's just what it is. You are generalizing. You are generalizing. Let me tell you this. So let me tell you this. Is it wrong for us? Because I believe women have a harder time aging than men. So is it wrong for us to want to maintain our youthful look? Being, not to go overboard, not to go get the breast. I'm not talking about the ones that get the breast implants and get their skin pulled back and stuff like that. I'm talking about just wanting to maintain a youthful look. Is that so wrong? So is it wrong? I don't think that that's wrong. Thank you, Charm. I appreciate you. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look youthful, wanting to look fresh, wanting to look good. I still care about the way that I look when I go out in public. I want to. Okay, if that's what you like, so then that's who you said you're dating. So Um, continue to date those people that you want to date, those women that you want to date. No one's saying that you shouldn't, but again, respect the fact that we date and are married to the men and women that we want to be married to. Respect that. Don't generalize or stereotype us because we're dating, and married to these men. You can't know everyone. You can't know everyone, but you can respect the fact that, hey, they're in a marriage. They're in a marriage that God said is blessed and God said is ordained. You know, So you don't know what the foundation is like. The foundation could be very secure. Some of them aren't. But you can't just generalize everybody. You can't just do that. You know, you can't just do that. Hold on, you guys. But I just that's good. So like the youth. And you know what, ladies, I think that we should still um, maintain, because we're going to be aging faster than our husbands. We should still, take pride in, keeping ourselves up. You know, we shouldn't just, okay, my husband's older. I already got him. He likes what he likes. And I should just let myself just get all out of shape and stuff like that. And he's still maintaining a muscular build and stuff like that. And you just let yourself to just go, just get out of shape. Don't take care of your skin. Don't take care of your hair. Don't take care of your body the way you need to. I think that I think it's wrong. We still need to try to keep in shape. Walk, go to the gym. I know it's hard. I just started on a regimen 5 months ago, walking, losing weight, because I felt like I had just, let myself go. My husband didn't say anything, and he didn't have to say anything, but it was me. I felt like I needed to change. you know Now I'm 50 pounds lighter, and I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better. My confidence is going up, and I just feel like, hey, my husband is very proud. I'm proud of myself, and I know that he's proud of me, because when you see us, you can't even tell that there's an age gap. Okay, so I get it. No problem. No problem. I respect it. I get it, and I respect it. I get it and I respect it. Um, but yes, ladies, we still got to keep ourselves up. Try to do something to make yourself still look good. For real, because again, men are attracted to what they're attracted to. If we are heavier than than the size that he met us at, he was attracted to that he saw what he saw. And you don't know, if you're getting, bigger, if he's still going to be attracted to you. And vice versa, men should do the same thing. Men should, keep themselves, up for their women too. But it's easier for us to gain weight. We have babies, we have life happening, we have menopause going on, and the weight is hard to get off. But we have to do something. Charm said, "You still gonna be looking good at 80." I know that's right. I know that's right, Charm. I'm right with you, cause everything I can do to keep myself up. I try to do it. I do facials. I do everything, and it's, as you age and you get older, you have to do more. You have to do more. And I know it's not always required. It's not required. My husband doesn't say, because sometimes he's like, the time that my husband compliments me the most is early in the mornings, when I don't have any makeup on, when I'm looking like this right here. When I don't have makeup on, my husband compliments me and says, "Baby, you are so beautiful." And I'm thinking to myself, "Wow, really?" I look a mess. I just woke up. But he's like, "Baby," that's the time that he compliments me the most, when I wake up in the morning with nothing on my face. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I just had to really, buckle down, Charm, and get my eating habits together. I was going to the gym regularly, but now I don't. I just go walking, and I do little things around my house, weights and stuff around my house. But the gym life is not for me. It's not. If he's here, because my husband, he working out at the gym now. So when he's here, maybe I'll try it again. But I just didn't feel the motivation to go every day. So I said, I'll do something. I have to do something. So now I just walk. I walk, and I do intermittent fasting 2 times a week, and it's worked. It's work, but we all got to do something. We can't just, hey, you got this, this handsome American man, and then what some people say, Cammie, what are you gonna do? Thank you, sweetie. Some people gonna say, ask me, what are you gonna do when he comes to America and he sees all of these beautiful women here in America? Well, are there not beautiful women in Nigeria? There are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous women with big Nash and beautiful skin and just everything in Nigeria. I've seen them over and over and over again. And so I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything. I expect my husband to be faithful like he always has, 7,000 miles away, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to stay married. That's what I'm going to do. Stay married and keep pushing on. Well, you guys, if you don't, I'm going to take this time and I want to ask you, allow you to ask me some questions. I want you to know that everybody on here, this is a safe space. I know some of you all probably, that's coming from the other app. You didn't feel confident, talking about it because of all of the people on there that's so judgmental and so against us. But I want you to know that this is a safe space for all of us. This is a safe space for all of us. You can feel comfortable talking. You can feel comfortable sharing your story. If you have a question, please answer it. I'm going to end every live by taking questions from you all about anything that you want to ask me a question about. So go ahead if you want. Even if you want to come up, I'll bring you up. But yes, go ahead and ask the question, and I'll try to answer it. Go right ahead. I don't know why I'm so thirsty today. I haven't drank and that's another thing I've been doing, you guys. I increased my water intake, and I've been running back and forth to the bathroom. But hey, I need to. We all need to as we get older. So does anyone have any questions? I felt safe as a stranger here. Thank you. Thank you, So. Thank you for coming. I hope you ain't so. I hope you subscribe, because you know what? I know you probably don't know me, but if you look at some of the videos, my name is Cammie. I go, my husband is Igbo Nigerian. I go back and forth to Nigeria twice a year. We do events in Nigeria. I do couple retreats. I do tours. I do a lot of things. We do transportation. We do e-visas. We also do Niger Wife cards, everything. So please keep following along. My husband will be joining me from time to time on this channel, but we do a lot of relationship talks, discussions. And it's not just long distance. It's just life lessons that we share with other couples, and with other men and women that are trying to navigate through relationships. So please don't let this be your last time. We love to have discussions, and then we have open debates. We don't, and that's just what it is. If we have to agree to disagree, then that's what it is. But everyone, I expect everyone to be respectful, and I respect everyone else too. Nigeria. I'm an American citizen, but I love Nigeria. That's my second home. I love the country. I love the culture. I love the people. I really do. The best time to travel to me is in March. It's in March. Let me tell you why. March is after the rainy season, and it's everybody has gone home from Daddy December, from the first of the year. All of the travels have died down, and it's it's a good time. The tickets are low. Ticket prices are very, very low. So I would, March is a good time to travel. I would say February is too. I have been out to Kenya and Liberia. Oh, you have? I want to go to Kenya. I want to go to Kenya safari. I want to go to Kenya Safari, but I'm kind of scared because I've been watching another young lady that just moved there, and the vehicle that she was in on the safari didn't look like it was it was secure. I want to be in one of those vehicles that have that's a metal cage all around it. I don't want to go in no Jeep type vehicle. But I do want to visit Kenya. I do. I don't want to be on nothing that's unsecured. I went to Ghana. It has anyone on here been to Ghana Zoo? Ghana Zoo is scary. That's all I'm gonna say. It's scary. We were walking. They have you sign a disclaimer before you even go take the tour. It's scary, especially the lion cages and stuff. That part of it, the display over there with the lions. Oh, that's terrifying. Ghana is good, but to be honest with you, it wasn't as lively as I thought. Now I only stayed for excuse me, for 3 weeks. I only stayed for 3 weeks, and the people were nice. Not at first, but I only stayed for 3 weeks, and it was it was kind of boring. I like Ghana, but it was kind of boring. It was kind of, I have to say, Ghana was kind of boring to me. And it may be because I only stayed for 3 weeks and we didn't know where to go. But even the places like closed, they closed early. I'm used to Nigerian, the all the lounges and restaurants closing late. And I mean, but wasn't a person on the street. It was not, I mean, after like 9 o'clock, nobody was on the street. I mean, places closed early. I was like, me and my husband, we went to two different restaurants that was highly recommended to us, and we started leaving the house at I think like 7:30, and one of them closed at 8 o'clock, and the other was, I was like, and these was like restaurant and bar like places, and they were closed. I mean, and it was like the weekend. It wasn't the weekdays. It was the weekend, and I was like, wow. Okay, what's my favorite airline to travel with for to Nigeria? Qatar. Qatar. It has long layovers. I think the shortest flight from the U.S. to Nigeria is 15 hours travel time. But they once you travel Qatar, you're not gonna want to travel any other airline because they are, even their economy seats are better than some of the business class seats on Delta. The food is good, customer service is excellent, and they land in Doha, the best airport that I have ever been to. Man, that airport is luxury. If you have never been to Doha Airport, my God, they have. I mean, it's top notch. It's luxury. Very, very clean. I mean, exquisite. They have lounges that you can go lay down. You're not gonna be sitting up in a Doha airport. You're not gonna be just sitting up in a chair. I mean, waiting on your connection. You're gonna be laying down in a lounge, like a lounge sleeper like chair that lounges back with a pillow on it. I mean, it's their airport is everything. And then you know what I do when I fly with Qatar, I go ahead and rent one of the they call them yotels. Yotels. I rent one of those yotels. They have this. They're like little small rooms that look like little small like cabins. The only thing they have in it is a bed, a TV, a shower, and somewhere to hang your clothes up. That's it. Um, and it's real comfortable, beautiful. I mean, wonderful, comfortable beds, and that you can get a wake up call from them. They'll let you know in time for you to get to your gate. Go in there, take you a shower, lay down, set your have your wake up call on, order you some food, and but before you know it, it's going to be time for you to go to your gate, and you're already refreshed. So when you do the next leg of your flight, you walking in Nigeria fresh and well rested. Yes, I have flown Delta many, many times. Delta's just all right. It's just all right to me. It's not my favorite airline to fly. It's my backup airline when I want to just get there really quick. If I'm not staying for 3 months at a time, then I'll go fly Delta. Because I know Delta and United is one of the two airlines that go directly in, that fly directly in there. I live in Atlanta, so I don't have to do the. I live in the. I live in a connector state, so I don't have to. I mean, I live in a hub, so you don't. I don't have to make another stop. I can go from Atlanta straight to Nigeria in maybe 10 and a half, 11 hours. Yes, I don't. I don't. Yes, yeah, yes, they do go to Abuja. Yes, they do. They do. Try them out. Go look at them online. Now, Qatar's flights are higher. They are. I'm not going to even lie to you. They are higher. But I would say they're worth every penny. Okay, so you like the countryside or something. You like a quieter setting. I get that. I get that. My husband's the same way. He's like, he don't like all that noise and stuff. How did I manage people's assumptions about the relationship, especially family? I was a topic of discussion and judgment when I was in an age gap relationship. I didn't talk about it. You know, the ones that have something to say. And I know that's hard because you want to share your love with someone else. You want to share how good you're feeling. You want to share your happiness and your joy, those memories with other people that you love, your family, your friends. But I didn't tell them my business. I did not tell them my business because of the hate that would come, and the assumptions and the judgment that came from that. So I didn't discuss the age gap, what it was. I didn't discuss where he lived at, where he was from. They just saw us, and that's when the all the talking and the judgment came, but I didn't share that with them. But I went through that, though. I went through that, and the way I handled it was this. Look, most people that are saying that about saying has so much to say about your relationship, sweetie, are you look at them 9 times out of 10, then something is off with them. The ones in my family that was talking about my relationship and talking about the age gap and stuff like that, the main person, when I look back at it, she was never married. She's never been married. She's been in relationship, all kinds of different relationship, but not one, and have 2 kids. And not one time has a man asked for her hand in marriage. Not once. So I'm not listening to her, because that's ridiculous. You're older than me. No one has ever asked you for your hand in marriage. You have 2 children out of wedlock, and you have so much, and she always has so much to say about other people's marriages and their relationships. She's the one that tells everybody, oh, I wouldn't put up with that, I would leave him. And if you do, you're going to end up like her, growing old alone, and having no one that honored you enough to even put a ring on your finger. So ignore them. Hey, Richard. Yes, you're happy. I love that, Adrian. She said, ignore them. Your happiness is personal. Exactly. Exactly. And you know what, ladies? That's the reason why I created the travel group that I have. Because with my travel group, ladies, I know that a lot of us needed a way, a place to vent, a safe space. So that allows them to be safe, to speak openly and freely about what's going on in their life with other women that can relate to the same journey, that are on the same journey that they're on. And that's the main reason why I created that group, because we need a safe space. I believe that we also need a safe space for domestic abuse inside of marriages. I believe that we also need that, because I see that I'm coming across that more and more and more, you know And I can't do everything, but there was a lady, there was another lady, a Niger wife, and she said that she was going to create a group, for that, because it happens. I've seen it. I see it in the business that I'm in. We help, do travel and stuff for women that are coming over to Nigeria, and I see it more and more. So I know that there's a need for it. Yes, very dangerous. Those kind of women are very dangerous. Yeah. But yes, you just have to, a lot of this journey is lonely. That's the reason why, ladies, let me say this. That's the reason why we don't need to be fighting each other. We don't need to be down at each other. We need each other. So if you are on the same journey as another woman, and all you do is criticize and ridicule her, you can't be on the same journey as me, because anyone on the same journey as me knows that, hey, we don't need that. This is stressful enough. You have to be really strong to be in a distant marriage, in a distance relationship. You have to be very strong to be in an age gap love. You have to, because it's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. So why add the extra stress and the extra pressure to someone? It's not for the weak. Circle of friends is a bit weird with the age gaps. Um, it's I haven't experienced that. So because again, my husband is. Let me see. My husband is he's he's one of those. You know how some kids, they're always around older people. My husband, his friends are older. His friends are like my age, or they're older than him. All of his friends, not all of them, but maybe like 80% of his friends are older than him, his close friends. So I haven't been uncomfortable around. I was a bit uncomfortable at the wedding because some of his friends that he went to school with were there, and I was a bit uncomfortable at the wedding because I was meeting some of them for the first time at the wedding. So I didn't know. I wasn't confident in our, even at marrying him. I was not confident in who I was as his wife and the age gap. So I was a bit uncomfortable at the wedding because I got to meet, some of his schoolmates, and I was like, oh Lord, and some of them looked young, way younger than him. So I did. But um, now we're no, we're good. I don't I don't know. Nigerian men, they just don't have. You don't hang out, and I had to learn this. You don't hang out with your husband's friends. They don't do like, unless y'all are going out on a date, but y'all don't. They don't. They usually hang out with their friends alone. Yeah. But my husband is an old head. He acts old. He acts older than me. I'm the one. He says he keeps me young, but I feel like I keep him young because I'm the one, like, babe, come on. He would be, if it was up to him, if he didn't have to go out to work every day, he would be in the house 24/7. He loves being in the house. He loves being around, his mom and talking to the older people in his community. He loves doing stuff like that. So he acts older than me. I don't know if they have it all figured out, but I think they have. They know a lot more about marriage than they have. They have that part figured out a little better than we do. I believe that's why, though, their divorce rate is a lot lower than ours. You know, they have more of it figured out than we do. They really do. Okay, you guys. Well, let me just say this. This is my it's not my first live here, but this is my first live discussion. I'm going to try to do this every Sunday night. So please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you won't miss it. There are a lot of things that I want to bring to our attention, and there's a lot of things that I want to discuss with you all. If you have not shared the live, share this channel with someone else. Please take the time and share the channel, especially if you know that they are in a long distance marriage or a long distance relationship. Make sure the person is drama free, because we want to keep it clean on this side. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. I really appreciate you all being here. Hey, Richard, I see you. I see you. All right, take care, and love on purpose. Talk to you soon.